right. Welcome to the show. I think, yes, we are live. Okay, excelente. All right, so we got some shit to get into. So, hell, let's just start it. This is a bacon blue cheeseburger recipe by Danny LaTrenta, I think is his name.
Bacon blue cheeseburgers. For
All right, the only thing I see off the bat that I'm not the biggest fan of is how thick the patty is. But it looks like he's got enough bacon and barbecue sauce and everything to maybe make that work. And it is blue cheese, so typically you want a pretty thick patty because blue cheese is pretty fucking potent.
blue cheeseburgers. First up, the bacon. Place onto a parchment paper-lined baking sheet. Over the top, a wire rack. This will prevent it from curling. Bake at 350 degrees for 24 to 26 minutes, or until crispy. Next up, the caramelized onions. Into a frying pan, unsalted butter, oil so the butter doesn't burn. Once the butter has melted, 1 large onion, 1 tablespoon of sugar, season with salt and pepper, cook over low heat for 15 to 18 minutes.
I actually bought that exact infrared burner, and I hate it.
Deglaze with a half cup of red wine. Bring up
Oh, yeah, I seen Kamala Harris's latest CNN interview. Like, this election, it's over.
to a boil over high heat, reduce to low, and simmer for 5 to 6
Bacon blue
minutes,
cheeseburgers.
or until a jammy-like consistency forms. And then for the burgers, into a frying pan, a little bit of oil, in goes your burger patties, cook over medium heat.
Oh, those look like pre-made frozen burger patties. Dude, get some meat from the fucking meat department.
For 5 minutes on the first side, and 3 minutes on the second side for medium
Oh, don't press down on your burgers generally.
rare. On goes blue cheese crumbles, under the
You can't do medium rare unless it's freshly ground beef. Freshly ground beef, yes. Pre-packaged, pre-made patty beef, no.
broiler it goes until the cheese has melted. Onto a toasted bun, some fig jam, on goes your burger patty, caramelized onions, bacon to make it healthy, some more fig jam on the top half of the bun, and finally, you can crown your burger.
Okay, I have never once heard of using fig jam on a motherfucking burger.
And once again, fig jam, burger patty, caramelized onions, a few slices of bacon, jam on the top half, crown your burger, and there we have it. Bacon blue cheeseburgers.
I will just have to say, I guess I'll have to. It's something that I would try. The fig jam is the only thing that's throwing me for a loop. Okay. All right, let's go with now we're going to do a Carl's Jr. commercial.
Back, and it's 3rd and 12.
And there is Miss Catherine Webb. Wow, would you look at that burger? It is heating up in here. Am I dreaming, or is that blue cheese and hot sauce? Whoa.
Hey, Hardee's and Carl Jr.'s, can you bring back commercials like this?
Holy moly.
Holy moly, I'm definitely sweating.
I think that is 100% Black Angus beef.
Well, I'm 100% excited.
And to all you useless fucking male feminists that somehow think this is demeaning to women, go fuck yourself.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes, I'm seeing a mediocre burger that I will resurrect, but yeah, a very hot woman was acting in a way that I like.
It's okay. Your hair is thinning, but you're not alone. Rogaine is.
All right, and now we're going to go to Cheeseburger Heaven, how to make the ultimate pepper jack burger.
Hey y'all, on this edition of Grilling with Granddaddy Daddy, we're gonna make some of the best hamburgers ever. Let's get to it. All right, so
Oh, never buy two meat. 7327 over the grill is fine, but never buy two meat. It was grilled God knows when by God knows who with God knows what. Go up to the meat counter, pay a little more, and get the freshly ground crap.
I got two 1 pound packs of 73% lean ground beef. Let's open them up, get them into our bowl. Okay, so we got 2 pounds of meat. We're gonna put in probably about 3 tablespoons of just regular.
I buy middle of the aisle stuff from Walmart, you know, shelf stable stuff because it's cheaper. But no, any meat or vegetables come from a grocery store.
Add salt. And we're gonna put in probably about 2 tablespoons of black pepper. All right, and I'm gonna get all that mixed up together. We got our salt and pepper in there. I've already kneaded it around, mixed everything up. Now we put in our secret ingredient.
Well, why did you need it and then added fucking Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire sauce. Put in just a few sprinkles of that. Now we're gonna mix it up some more. Now I'm gonna make my 4 1 pound, or
Bob. Okay, Bob. Breakfast sausage is an exception.
make my 4 half-pound patties.
Okay, I'm not a big fan of half-pound patties because if I'm gonna do a half-pound burger, I do 2 quarter-pound patties.
We've got our 4 half-pound patties. The reason we use the 73% lean is because I'm making 4 half-pound patties, and they're going to draw up some. Now, the other thing I'm going to do when I flatten them out, I'm going to take
that dimple doesn't do dick. Trust me, I've tried it.
my thumb and make a little indentation in the middle of the patty, and that's going to help them stay flat as they draw up. Let's get that Weber kettle grill up.
Occasionally I'll have Spam, but generally I stay... Well, there's also tuna. I'll occasionally rock tuna from the can, but generally speaking, I stay away from canned meats. But occasionally I will do some Spam.
Up to about 450 degrees and get these burgers on the grill. So I got my chimney going. We're going to use a little bit of the old coals that were in the Weber. I got some fresh ones. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the coals on one side of the grill. I'm not going to use my normal tin foil or tin pan that I put in there. We're just going to stack the coals up on one side, and we're going to do indirect that way, just to try something different. Anyway, let's let the fire get going. Then we're going to heat up the grill, and then I'll see y'all again when we go to put the burgers on. All right.
I'm taking a debate from debating. After tomorrow and my debate with Iron Gullet, I'm taking a break.
So our chimney's got our coals ready. Let's put them in the grill. Okay. I want to dump them right on the side there.
Now, me personally, I don't do low and slow with burgers, this indirect heating method. Although with the amount of coals, it's almost a direct heating method. But I always use lump charcoal for burgers.
Just like that. I'm gonna take my coal tool and I'm gonna make sure that
You said you wanted to schedule a debate with me. I said, don't even bother. I'm taking a break.
I got all the coals pulled back over to this side. Let's put our grill grate on.
I have that exact grill.
Put our lid on. I'm gonna put my temperature indicator on the opposite side from the fire. And let's get this thing up over 450 degrees so we can cook some hamburgers.
No, I said me and Owen are
Okay,
debating.
we're at 450 degrees.
And then at 3, I
There's our
got
burgers.
Fury Insect Taxidermy.
Put them on the grill. See if we can hear that sizzle. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, if I was to do a burger in this method, I would sear it on the coal side and then move it over to the cooler side. Your grill's so fucking hot that there is no cool zone.
We're gonna have the
Whatever,
neighborhood
you do
smelling
you.
good. All right, so we'll put those on there. Then we wait. I'm gonna cook a medium rare. I'm gonna take them off about 140.
Oh my god, you can't cook two meat medium rare, dude! If it was freshly ground beef, I'd be just fine with it!
Degrees. So we're gonna flip them.
The ice cube in the burger does literally fuck and all. I'm sorry. All it does is make sure any fat is out of the burger. The ice does nothing. I don't know what person thought up the ice trick. I've seen it done once, and the burgers look terrible.
And they're smelling good. They're sizzling.
Actually, let's see if I can find that video. I'll keep playing this. These aren't even seared right.
All right, let's cover them back up. We've had them on here for about 25 minutes. They're up to temperature. What I want to do, I'm gonna leave the lid open. I'm gonna just take them and slide them on over the coals for just a little quick minute. Give them a little char. Then we're gonna flip them. And at the beginning of this video, I said hamburgers. I misspoke. We're making cheeseburgers. We're just gonna give these just about a minute aside. I just moved the burgers back to the cold side of the grill, and we're gonna put our pepper jack cheese on here. We're just gonna let it sit on there for a little bit, let it start getting nice and soft. I don't want it to be runny, because it'll make a mess on my grill. Let's take these cheeseburgers off the grill. Set them right on the bottom of those buns. All right, got me some mustard and ketchup. Time to have a taste. Man, just the right amount of salt and pepper. I'll taste the Worcestershire sauce. Nice little medium rare hamburger.
I can't find.
Man, that is good. Man, that was a good hamburger. All right, it's a real quick, easy, simple recipe. I'll put it in the description down below. And until next time I see y'all at the grill, y'all keep on grilling.
Dancing pandas don't sell CRM.
All right. All right, I can't find it. Fuck it. All right. I do want to do this. This is make pizza. God damn it. Thank you, you son of a bitch. Make pizza at home easier than you think, cheaper than ordering out.
Stopping by my channel, I'm Kristen, and in today's video, I am doing a different take on a pizza. I've never had a pizza like this before, and it's kind of a take on a popular sandwich. So if you'd like to see what it is, you know, that I'm gonna do, then just keep watching. All right, first thing you gotta do when you're making a pizza crust is you gotta bloom some yeast.
Oh yeah, this was the Italian sub pizza.
So I have a measuring cup here, and I'm filling it with warm water to 3/4 of a cup, and then I'm gonna put in a couple tablespoons of honey because yeast needs sugar to bloom and start frothing up. If you don't have sugar, it's not going to work. So then I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of yeast in the cup like that. And then I just let it get mixed into the honey water and just let it start frothing. So in the meantime, I'm going to start putting my dry ingredients into my stand mixer here. And I'm going to start with 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I will link this recipe in the description box for you, and then you can make it yourself if you want. We like to make pizza in our house when it gets cooler out because you have to have the oven up kind of high. They cook at like 425, so we usually like to make homemade pizza in the cooler months. So I'm going to season my dough with garlic powder and a little garlic salt, just kind of as your taste. And then you got to let it, after you've got it all mixed together and everything and you have your dough, then you got to let it sit for like 30 minutes. So I'm starting this in the afternoon to make sure it has enough time to get nice and big. And I just realized I have the wrong attachment. I have the paddle attachment on my mixer, and I should have the dough hook, not dough book. So here it is. I'm gonna switch it out real quick. Easy mistake, right?
Well, technically, you don't need the dough hook until you add the wet ingredients.
Easy to fix too. It's okay. But where would we be without our stand mixers, right? Very important.
I would be utterly lost.
It's very easy. I could mix it by hand, but it's just so much easier when you have your mixer to do the work for you, that's for sure. Okay, so as you can see, my yeast has bloomed like that, and she's ready to go.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to start using honey instead of sugar.
If you put your yeast in the warm water and it doesn't froth up like that, then it has been killed and it's no good. Throw it out. Get some new yeast. You have to have it foamy. Okay, then I just pour the yeast into the flour mixture and then a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Or you could pour the olive oil into the yeast too. You could do that. Either way, I don't think it really matters the order in which you do that. But I'm just taking my little spatula here and just scraping down the sides of the mixing bowl, just to kind of facilitate the mixing process here. Get all that flour into the yeast and let it go.
Okay, I don't want to critique your method here, but generally your dough hook should be on number 1, the lowest speed.
Oh, there we go. And then we're just going to let it mix and mix on pretty high speed until it starts pulling away from the sides of the bowl, like it's starting to do here. And this is exactly what you want right here. you have a nice dough ball. So you're all ready to put it into a bowl. You want to drizzle some oil in there so it doesn't stick. Make sure your bowl is generously coated in the oil. I just used olive oil. Use anything, use whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't want it to be weird, so, stick to a neutral oil, okay? So then I'm going to take the hook out to get my dough out of the bowl. As you can see, it's a nice, smooth dough ball here, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Just like that. It's wonderful. Okay, so then you just plop it into your bowl like so. Move the dough ball all around so it gets coated in the oil so it doesn't stick to anything. Okay, and then I'm going to lightly cover the bowl with some plastic wrap. That will help to hold the heat in, and it will help your dough rise quickly-ish. It's pretty chilly in my house this time of year, before we have the heat going all the time and the wood stove going all the time. And so it still proofs pretty well with the plastic wrap. I just have it under the light on the stovetop there. And look at that. In no time at all, it has doubled in size. I have 2 doughs here because I'm making 2 pizzas for my family. But I'm just going to be showing you one of them. So in the recipe, it says to put Italian dressing on the pizza crust because this is going to be for an Italian sub pizza. A take on an Italian sub sandwich, right? Like, with the pepperoncinis and all that, but in pizza form. So my family wasn't too enthused about that idea, so...
Meat grinders are about, I don't know, $300. Depends on the one you want. Okay, $300 to several thousand. And as for how long it takes to clean, about 20-ish minutes. Early voting is going on in several states, and the Republicans are doing better than ever before. Meaning, on election night, the Democrats may be doomed. And I mean a landslide doom. Oh, yeah, you can turn the KitchenAid into a meat grinder. I just don't do that. I have a dedicated meat grinder.
We, as in my daughter and I, we like to have a white pizza sauce. So we thought that would work really well with this. It's just a garlicky, cheesy sauce.
Oh, no, you're using the jarred Parmesan. Shit.
And you start with the roux, equal parts butter and flour, let that cook down, then add in the milk, which was 1 1/4 cups.
Well, you can believe whatever you want, Iron Gullet. I'll drink your tears on election night.
And then I'm going to season it up here with a little bit of salt. Also added in, as you saw, some grated parm. The shredded parm works better. I think you get better flavor out of that, but, grated was what I had, so that's what I used. And then also to kind of have those Italian notes, like for an Italian sub, I added in a little bit of Italian dressing. So, and then as you just saw, I was warming up some oil and threw in some garlic because I want to brush on some garlic oil onto the crust. All right, there's my dog. He's helping me. And so then now I'm going to roll out my crust. So I just generously flour a surface. And then I get my dough out. I have my oven preheated to 425. I'm just going to press it out just to kind of get it started. And I'm going to roll it out pretty thin, as thin as I can get it here. We like a thin crust over here. How about you? What's your favorite type of crust? And do you like to make pizza at home? I'd like to know.
Yes, I do. For homemade, yes, I do prefer thin crust.
Let me know. Comment below if you like to make your own pizza. If you enjoy doing that little process here. I like it because you can really control the ingredients that are going in and what goes on top, and I just really like to personalize my own pizzas, and my family loves pizza too. So
Okay, I don't know if it's a bad angle, but do you have a pan big enough for that pizza?
it's kind of a win-win, and I don't mind doing it on.
Yeah, honestly, if I was you, I would have cut my dough in half and made 4 smaller, like 9-inch pies.
By hand like this at home. Like it's not that big of a process, you know. It's pretty easy to do. So, and I hope that by watching my video.
Oh God, I will say, dogs in the kitchen, never feed them anything from the counter, or yeah, they're gonna try to break your neck to get your chicken.
I can illustrate that for you. You know, you could do it too if you wanted. It's pretty easy. All right, so I'm gonna use my pizza screen here. You could cook this in a cast iron pan. You could cook this in a big sheet pan. Like whatever you have is fine. But for a crispier crust, I like to use these pizza screens here. All right,
Okay,
so
grab,
I'm just going to put it on my rolling pin
What?
here. That kind of makes it a little easier to transport it over to the pizza screen. Then you just roll it
Why
on
didn't you
there.
just
Make
use a
sure it's
pizza cutter,
covering the whole
sweetheart?
thing here. Got it a little bit too much on one end, but that's okay. We just move it around
your
there.
crust is nice and
And then you're
everything,
gonna
but
have some overhanging of the crust on the pizza screen.
Just grab a pizza
So what I
cutter
like
and
to do,
cut
I
it.
just fold it under after I get it all situated on the
Okay.
pizza screen here. Like that. Takes a little bit of effort here. So then here we go. I just fold the crust under. There's no need to really trim it off. It's okay. Just fold it under, and then that will give you that kind of a lip around the edge of the pizza. It looks good, and it kind of, helps you have a guide to where to put your sauce. And
Well, I mean, it's your pizza, but I think that looks like shit.
And then you get a fork, and you want to dock your crust so that big bubbles don't form in the oven. So that's what I like to do. And then I'm going to pre-bake it.
All right.
I brushed it with the
Lower temperature, bigger pie. Makes sense to pre-bake it.
garlic oil, and then I'll just keep an eye on it until it's kind of,
It looks like we got some salami, pepperoni, ham, onions. Looks like some mozz, banana peppers.
feel like it's pretty well on its way. So then these are all the toppings. I have banana peppers here. I have salami, pepperoni. I have lunch meat, ham, onion, and of course cheese. Now goes on the garlic Parmesan sauce, we'll call it. I'll write this recipe out for you. I don't have a link, but I have it written down, so I'll type it out for you in the description box. And then also you're gonna put on some provolone cheese because that goes on the sub sandwich. I have a little Italian seasoning here.
Okay, provolone. But lady, it's supposed to be shredded. I mean, even the bag shredded cheese would be better than the whatever the hell these cubes are for pizza, at least.
Here, I'm gonna just sprinkle it over the sauce and the cheese. We're gonna also go in with mozzarella, so don't get nervous. We're gonna have plenty of cheese on here. So here goes the mozzarella. I just grated it off a block. I think that's way better than the pre-shredded stuff
Oh.
because they put
I just put 2 blocks in my food processor and do it that way.
like a coating on it to keep it from sticking. So, and it just melts so much better when you grate it yourself, let me tell you. It's just so much better.
It depends on how much she's got. You're probably looking at $8 for the salami and the pepperoni. Couple bucks for the ham. She probably got like maybe a half a pound of ham. I mean, this is probably still cheaper than ordering out.
Okay, and then I'm
My
just going to
opinion.
pile on the rest of it. The ham, the pepperoncinis. I could have actually... No, I didn't use pepper.
All right, sorry, I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Pepperoncinis, I use banana peppers. I like those better than pepperoncinis. But I could have went with more banana peppers. The flavor with the tangy vinegary flavor is really good against the rich sauce and the pepperiness from the pepperoni. Okay, and then I just brushed the crust one more time with the garlic oil. And then I'm just going to put it back in the oven and let it finish cooking. Just keep an eye on it. This was like maybe 15 minutes, I'd say, and it was so good. It was so yummy. It was so cheesy. It was rich. It was creamy. The crust was
See, and this is why... And
awesome. Like, it.
I'm sure this was delicious, and I'd eat the shit out of it. But this is where you fucked up with the crust. Your crust was way too thick at the edges, so when you looked at it, your salami and pepperoni are starting to get burned, but your crust is underdone. This is why you either should have jacked it up to 500 or cut the edges off the pizza.
It was just a really good dinner, and you could serve this with.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It probably tasted delicious, so... So anyway, let's move on to... Well, this is the best homemade...
All these groups agree. It's time to renew lottery funds for Minnesota's great outdoors. Critical.
All right, so this is the best homemade pizza recipe. But I might steal that idea, the Italian sub pizza. In fact, I think I'm going to. I will say this, pizza dough is a fucking goddamn bitch to stretch. Now watch, somebody that works in a pizza place is going to laugh at me and say, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That works. Well, you know the thing that blew my mind about the produce section of every grocery store? You know those stickers they have on everything, like apples and lemons and limes and all that? That shit is perfectly edible. Those stickers are edible. All right, let's do smoking and grilling with AB.
Welcome back to my channel, Smoking and Grilling with me, AB. Now, I know you didn't see them meatballs in that thumbnail. Listen, this is just like a super easy Italian meatball recipe that anybody can make. Hey, listen, I'm not finna over talk it. We finna go right over these ingredients. You can make them two ways. This right here, this is my cast iron. You can brown them here and do them that way, or you can do them in the oven. I'm gonna do mine in the oven right now. I know it's hot, so you guys know you can do it two ways. Hey, with that being said, let me just go ahead and just start. I'm gonna go ahead and preheat my oven, hit bake. We're gonna go to 400 degrees. Then we're gonna hit start. Now it's really up to you.
Now I tend to go a little bit lower and slower, but I usually add pork to my meatballs, so kind of necessitating. Very true, Vid Fanatic. Everything is edible. Some things are just edible once.
If you guys are going to do these and these meatballs, right, you can use 90% or you can use 80-20. Don't forget, if you do 80-20, it's going to render a lot of fat, right? Now, we got beef broth, cloves, garlic cloves. Look, check this out. Grated the onions right here, right? That keeps it nice and fine. You lose that crunch. That's what you want to do right there. Look, we got parsley, we got Parmesan, and check it out. We got breadcrumbs. Now, let me just say this. With those ingredients, and you heard that, tell me what you think. This ain't nothing but, what is it? You guys got it. It's nothing but like meatloaf. Hey, super easy. We don't want to make them so dense. And again, I'm not finna over talk it. We finna get right in here. So look, I'm gonna bring you guys closer.
And typically with meatballs, the way I do them is I would sear them in the cast iron pan, put them on a tray, and finish them off in the oven.
And let's go ahead and let's get these working. Okay, look, so really this is like a dump and go, right? But there's one step that I like to do, prior to starting, right? So
yeah, I was having fun with the game. Oh, wait, I forgot, Iron Gullet. You're a leftist. You don't know what the fuck fun is.
So look, we got our broth, our beef broth. Check this out. We're gonna pour our crumbs in here like that and just let everything soak. We just stir this in here. We just want the breadcrumbs. Check it out. We want them to soak up some of that flavor. You know what it does? It just like swells up. Hey, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm gonna let you guys just see it. And most of all, I'm gonna let you guys taste it.
By the way, Iron Gullet, if Trump is elected on election day, how many gallons of your tears can I expect?
Right here's a little pro tip. But if you can see, it's starting to get a little, thick, and we'll let that continue on just like that. Put that off to the side and let that continue to soak up and swell up and get big. Now, I just mentioned to you guys a dump and go, right? So listen, you just take everything else that you have, and just dump it in here just like this.
I never got that far in the game.
You gotta love these kind of recipes. These right here be super quick. Now, when it comes to this, I like to save a little bit of my parsley, you know, for garnish, right? So I just put a little bit more.
You don't know what meatloaf is? I've done like 3 of them to juice.
Something like about a tablespoon. You know what I mean? Would you do it like that? And then we're gonna put a smile on my face. I'm gonna get my.
No, he described his meatballs as like meatloaf, but I'm not seeing anything meatloafian about this.
Garlic press. Put these in here like this. Hey, and I want you guys to let me know what you think down in the comment section below. You know what? Do you like to have these fast-paced, you know, videos like this? Let me know. Get this, and we just scrape that.
Just save yourself some time. Buy a jar of garlic soaking in olive oil. It's fine.
You want to get all of that garlic flavor, right? It's up to you. You know, when you say Italian, you know you got to have that garlic.
No, this is basically meatballs or spaghetti and meatballs.
Now we get our egg. Go ahead and get that in there right now, because listen, we got to build that binder. Now let me get myself a spatula, and now we add. Now I want you guys to take a look at this right here. See how that is? Look. We get in there with his hands. You know what I mean? That's why
I may have to steal part of that for a meatloaf then. I may have to steal part of that.
I got the glove on, and now we mix, right? You kind of like just want to mix it and then fold it a little bit.
There's no real theft in goddamn cooking because you can't copyright a recipe, so.
So, you know, overwork the, you know, our beef. You know what I mean? We just want to make it so that everything is incorporated.
I can take from him,
and we want it to be, you know, a little bit on the airy side too. Okay, so look, I'm gonna be using an ice cream scoop, right? So this is where it's gonna be key. Even though I'm doing this is like to try to get them all about the same size. The main thing is I want to get them all the same size here when I start, right? So look, I got them like that. Right here, we halfway around. I just bring it like this. You don't want to like make it.
Like I said, this is where I would sear them in a pan and finish them in the oven.
Compact, you know, then you just set it down, just like that. Now, I'm gonna repeat this process, but just so you guys can see, this just makes them all about the same size. You know what, I wanna start with the same amount of meat, right? So that's good, take it out. A couple of times around like this. I'm not packing it, I'm just getting it to be more of a round shape. And they should be like nice and soft like that, right? Now, if you guys are gonna be using these and you're gonna be using your cast iron skillet, like trying to do a grate, trying to do the browning technique, you know what I mean? You want it really to be soft like this. Only thing about that is it takes a little time to put that color on there and that little bit of crust. You know, it's because you got to keep moving around. That's why I say the bake is the best way to go. Okay, so look, now that I'm done, you guys can see. And then if you look right here, look, you can make them all this size. I did the one like this so you guys can see. It depends on what size ice cream scooper. But if I use this, sift off the top and then around it, that's what size it is. But I like mine to be a little bit more. You can give each person 2. So this right here serves several people. All right, so look, I'm gonna put these in the oven. We already preheated. I'm at 400 degrees. Look, I'm gonna put them in here for 20 minutes. But I'm gonna set myself a timer for 17 minutes. And then I wanna check the internal temp. I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below. When will those be ready? Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, listen, they be ready at 165 degrees. So, got my thermometer here. I'll check them at 17 minutes and then we go from there. Okay, so look, my timer just went off. I checked them. I had to rotate my pan, you know, so that I can get everybody at 165 at about the same time, right? So I want you guys to take a look at that right there. Man, those look great. Now, you got 2 ways. We could take these, we could put this, because I set aside some.
Like I said, I usually sear them so they keep their shape. Nothing wrong, but his pasta's already sauced and plated. Part of the thing with meatballs is you leave them in the sauce for a while.
you know, some of my spaghetti sauce, right? So I can put those in there, get them nice and coated, or you can put them on top, however you want to do it. To be honest with you, usually when I make them like this, I take them like this, and I put them on some mashed potatoes and hit it with a bit of that dark gravy. You know what I mean? Hey, but with that being said, look, let's go ahead and plate. I got that spaghetti, now let's get it. Hey, so look, one of the things I want to show you is, hopefully I can get this to come across on the camera, right? I want you to look, and you can just see how, look how, man, this is tender. And again, I already hit it with my meat thermometer, like 165 a piece, right? Actually, this one was about 172, but I just want you guys to just see just how it is. Right, now I'm gonna take it, and I'm just gonna cut this like this. Ah, yeah. Now, look at that right there. This is what you want. Check it out, folks. Cheers.
Well, yeah, of course it's gonna be tender.
Nothing like a meatball that's seasoned just right. Oh, my goodness. To be honest with you, this doesn't need nothing. You guys can like serve these up, you know, whatever you want to. But look, you got to put some type of covering on it. So for me, like I said, you can go with the dark gravy, or you can go with, like, you know, spaghetti sauce. But why not do spaghetti and meatballs?
But that's not spaghetti and meatballs. Spaghetti and meatballs is, you take a little bit of the sauce, you put spaghetti in a pan, throw the sauce in, get those two happy, put it in a bowl, and then fish 2 or 3 meatballs out of the sauce. I mean, I love you. I love you, AB. You know, this is the first time I think I've had a disagreement with you.
These are fire. Okay, so what I did was I just took some of the meatballs, right? I told you I saved aside some of my spaghetti sauce, right? So I just dipped it in there, heated it back up, and now we're just gonna place these right here like that. Now you guys get a chance to see, you know, just about how big they are, right?
Like
So
I said, and those meatballs are so big, 1 meatball should be sufficient for spaghetti. Maybe 2. Because I generally make mine a lot smaller, like 1.5 ounces. Because I like to have the meatballs within the dish itself.
Gonna put 3 of these in here like this. Let's move this one over just a little bit, make room for us, buddy. Right? We put these here like this. That right there is what you want to have. Now, if you guys want to know how I make my spaghetti sauce and all of that, I'll leave that down in the description box below. So now we finna take this Parmesan, and I'm finna show you how to make it work, folks. Okay, and so now we just go ahead and grate a little bit of this Parmesan on here. Check it out. You tell me what you think about that there. Then we'll go ahead and hit it with a little bit of this garnish that we, you know, save back. And I want you guys to let me know what you guys think about this. I gotta know this down in the comment section below. Hey, do you guys do you cook your spaghetti noodles, you know, with your sauce on there, or do you do it the restaurant way and put noodle on your plate and then put the sauce? But that right there, folks, look at that right there. Now that's fire.
It looks fine. I wouldn't have done it that way, but that's me. All right, this one kind of caught my thing. Easy pita pizza recipe. Now, easy would just be buying the pita bread pre-made, but all right.
Pita bread pizza, a great late night snack when all you have is leftovers in the fridge. Here we got a little bit of olive oil, spread it all over the pita bread, put some garlic powder, adds a lot of flavor, some pepper, some pizza sauce, some mozzarella. You can make it as cheesy as you wish, So now you could add some protein, any type of protein you want, as long as it's cooked or cured. I got some soppressa here. I'm not gonna use any pepperoni because I don't have pepperoni in my house and I gotta work with what I have. Cook it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. Add some Italian seasoning, and there you have it. A beautiful, yet delicious, and simple pita pizza. So
That works.
here's a pro tip. If you want to elevate this pizza to the next level and you have some bomba sauce lying around, give it a little dash. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and give
Works for me. Okay, this video is about A, a woman's ass, and B, the Jack Daniels sauce from TGI Fridays.
Protection is more breathable, so you can say yes to being unstoppable.
Everybody, my name's Tommy and this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue, and this is the TGIF Fridays Jack Daniels copycat sauce, right? Listen, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for all my future uploads. It is greatly appreciated.
Why the fuck is he roasting garlic bulbs?
So listen, what you want to do here is you want to get a full garlic bulb and you want to give it a little slice to expose some flesh. Right now, listen, this is part of, well, it's 3 parts. This is the Jack Daniels sauce. I've also got the frizzled, frazzled onions. I'll leave links up above, links down below, and the Molly Jack Daniels smash burger, which will be the best burger you've made in a long time. I guarantee it. I'm going to leave that video link down below and up above.
Jesus Christ, this guy has got a little ASMR thing going on.
Also, you check that out, right? You won't definitely want to make this. This is really good stuff. All right, so listen, we got our garlic bulb in 350.
All right, looks like this guy has some training.
For about 30 minutes or so. We want to soften up that flesh. Next up, what we're going to do is finely finely dice maybe a 1/4 onion, right? And let's take a look at those ingredients.
2/3 cup of water, 1 cup of pineapple juice, 1/4 cup of teriyaki sauce, tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 1/3 cup dark brown sugar. I'm using a light. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. The 3 tablespoons of minced white onion.
Oh, and of course we got about 3 tablespoons of that JD sauce, old number 7, right? And listen, what you want to do now is combine that water, pineapple juice, teriyaki sauce, soy sauce, and brown sugar. Right now, listen, I'm going to leave the exact recipe down below. This stuff is good stuff. This stuff could be used from chicken to burgers to spare ribs. I mean, you make this stuff and you're going to want to put it on everything, right? I guarantee you that. We take our garlic out. We see our, just be careful, right? Because that garlic is really hot. So be careful handling it and just want to squeeze out those, squeeze out that flesh, right? Squeeze out those garlic bulbs there. And what you're going to do is you're going to paste them up or chop them up, right?
With the glove, let's use your fucking hand.
And that's right, just like that. And now you could put that on crackers right there, and that's a home run, I guarantee you that. But what we're going to do with this stuff is we're going to get this into the JD sauce, right? Into the pot.
What's the story with the other 12? Did you just do that it. Come on, that's not mashed enough.
Of course. And then we want to get our onions in. This is a simple sauce to make. You're basically going to incorporate all the ingredients now, and you're just going to simmer and reduce it to half or to thicken it up. Lemon in. Chopped pineapple in. And of course, old number 7 in, right? Tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. It's all good, right? Of course. And like I said, give that a mix up, simmer it, and reduce it to almost half. And you're looking at about maybe 15 minutes or so. Just don't go too high. You don't want to burn it, right? You got that sugar in there, so just a nice low simmer.
Oh my God.
And what you want to do to test it to see if
Thing, jackass, eventually everything will burn. Okay? You're wanting caramelization, which is the sweet spot between burnt dog shit and raw.
you're done is if you put a spoon in there, when it sticks to the spoon, you know you're pretty thick, right? You know you're done.
No, that's not the spoon test. You have the finger skills for knife work, but you don't know the sauce test. Okay.
Of course. Oh, yeah. That is good stuff. Wow. And of course, as that sits, and it will thicken up more. Listen, hit that subscribe button and check.
I throw out so much food, it's ridiculous. It'd make every Bernie Sanders bro cry. But look, sometimes I don't get to cooking shit, and it goes off past its expiration date, and I'm not going to cook it. And yeah, sometimes I get in the mood to cook. I'll cook 6 or 7 different dishes, and yeah, leftovers go bad. I have no problem throwing away food. I don't know why in this country there's such an aversion to throwing away food. We live in the land of fucking plenty, for Christ's sakes. And sometimes I cook shit just for the day, just for Dave's cooking show. I'll eat maybe half of a portion, and the rest of it goes in the trash.
Check out the
If I fed it to Daisy, she'd be fucking 103 pounds.
cards above and the cards below, right? Because you're going to want to make those frizzled, frazzled onions along with this sauce.
Yeah, think of the African kids. And blah, blah. Yeah, if I had a way to get it over to them, I'd send it to them. But I don't, so they can go fuck themselves. All right, the last video of the night is from Mr. Bruce Campbell. Except I might want to do one more. And I gotta pee, so I'll be right back. All right, this is from McDonald's Arch Deluxe, discontinued with Bruce Campbell. I don't know if he's going to cook anything or what the hell, whatever.
Known the world over, who has served billions. I'm talking about McDonald's. Mickey D's, the Golden Arches. McDonald's introduced the Arch Deluxe to the world, targeted to mature adults, which honestly sounded weirdly erotic. Welcome to McDonald's After Dark. Let's drive right through this story.
Hi, I'm Andre from Discontinued, and I'm heading out to the streets of Los Angeles, hoping to find people who can remember the fabled Arch Deluxe.
I remember it. I don't know if I ever fucking had it. I probably did because I was curious about it. But it's so immemorable that I don't remember.
Have you ever heard of McDonald's Arch Deluxe?
No.
No, I never have. I think it has to be earthworms.
What? She seemed to be an unreliable source. That is a happy meal, I guess. So we headed back to the nostalgia connoisseurs to find out what is
McDonald's Arch Deluxe, the country's favorite new burger.
And not just because of the hat.
What is an Arch Deluxe? It just sounds like coronary artery disease.
See, this is a grown person.
Why was I not contacted to do this fucking show?
Burger right here.
The Arch Deluxe was like the little kid wearing their parents' clothing. You know, like when that kid...
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it was still McDonald's. You can't upgrade McDonald's to like where a Chili's was or a Red Robin. It's just fucking impossible.
Kid just want to be like, I'm a grown-up too. And you just see like the daughter just with the makeup all over the face. It was a kid's meal for adults.
odd choice for the fast food restaurant that introduced the world to Ronald and whatever fresh nightmare these guys came from.
A lot of times, that's the kid's first word. Like, what we having for dinner? McDonald's. That was grounds for celebration. My shirt was off. I'm doing cartwheels in the backyard, even though we...
Why did you take your shirt off for that?
didn't have a backyard. It was like a parking lot.
Ronald and these guys peddled McDonald's burgers and Happy Meals quite successfully for over 20 years until Burger King and Wendy's came around to butt in on the market share in the late 80s.
So in the early 90s, McDonald's got all the focus groups and they did all the market research and they found out that everybody thought that McDonald's was a kid restaurant. And they're like, no, we're not.
So Ronald McDonald exchanged a wig.
What would I do?
For a hat.
So they...
The grimace. There's a history of there with Grimace and the Lords of Testosterone.
Hired a chef.
McDonald's executive chef.
I remember they would say, like, was created by the head chef of McDonald's, who is not the head chef at any McDonald's, I'm positive.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly Gordon Ramsay, but...
I would venture to say McDonald's does employ real chefs and then bastardizes their creations.
You know, they put him in every single commercial.
It's right up your alley.
Real chef or not, McDonald's took over a year to come up with this new burger.
They had special sauce. They even threw bacon on it. Like, this sandwich was fully equipped.
It was essentially in like a burger briefcase. I remember like my dad ordering them and it would like rip through the bag. And it was like a big burger, but...
You know what? I'm going to be mature.
That felt excessive.
So in order to appeal to adults, McDonald's had to think outside the box. A box so big, it ripped open the bag of money they were about to drop on this marketing campaign.
Come on, Dad.
So they spent $200 million to advertise this thing, which is like one of the biggest ad campaigns for this thing that nobody really wanted.
$200 million is small potatoes, because McDonald's projected...
Oh my God, I do remember getting the fucking Arch Deluxe. Either I was with my mom or with my grandpa, my maternal grandfather, or both, I got it with both of them at separate occasions. And I just thought it was just, I'd rather have Extra Value Meal number 2 and get 2 burgers.
Did the Arch Deluxe to pull in $1 billion their first year. The marketing team took a hard left turn from McDonald Land and into adulthood.
The slogan for the Arch Deluxe was the burger with the grown-up taste.
So they were doing these commercials. It's like Ronald McDonald in a business suit. That's like uncomfortable. Like clowns are creepy enough as is. Then when you like dress them up like they're going to a job interview, it's even scarier.
Because they were like kids at this point.
A lot of adults don't want nothing to do with McDonald's if they don't have the kids. So you gotta have the kids in there, man.
Okay, so they brought...
Well, not exactly. The only time the adults got more obsessed with McDonald's than the fucking kids, because it was the only time in my childhood that I actually told my mom that, can you just make a fucking meatloaf? Was the first or second year, one of the early years of the McDonald's game, I think it was the first, she somehow caught Monopoly fever, and yeah, we had fucking McDonald's 5 nights a week. To the point of even I got sick of it.
Brought the kids back into the...
And this was the awesome era where you had the souvenir cups that gave you a half a gallon of soda for 8 cents.
Commercials, but even those were a bit...
Arch Deluxe. You're telling me if I eat anything from McDonald's, I'm gonna end up growing up? I don't want to grow up.
It might have failed even before it began. Might have been too fancy for old McDonald's.
The Arch Deluxe campaign confused everyone.
Nice hat.
It alienated their target audience and failed to bring in a new one. After 5 years,
sales just kept declining till 2000. They gave up, and that's it. They pulled it, and I don't think anybody noticed.
I didn't even know.
No, like I said, I think I tried. I think the Arch Deluxe came out when I was a teenager. I wanted to try it. And yeah, I had it a couple times and went back to, like I said, the Extra Value Meal number 2, which was the 2 cheeseburgers. I always got that shit supersized. And fuck you, Morgan Spurlock! And no, I don't care if you're dead. I hope you're in hell. I'm glad you're fucking dead. Because he ruined the half pound of fries and the half a gallon of fucking soda we got. He killed Supersize. So fuck you, Morgan Spurlock. I'm glad you're dead.
The Arch Deluxe was discontinued. I thought it was like the McRib and it was gonna come back. It just...
He was the guy that made fucking Supersize Me.
Never came back.
All in all, the Arch Deluxe went down as the most expensive failed campaign in McDonald's history. For a burger nobody seemed to want or like.
Wait a minute. No one liked the Arch Deluxe? Oh.
Okay, maybe some people liked it. I also liked it.
So you can make it yourself. It's not that hard. Jesus Christ, I'll fucking do it. All right. Oh God, do I want to do another? Where are we with? Fuck it. Here's Meat Lover's lasagna. This is Grilling with AB.
Smoking and grilling with me, AB. Now, I know you done seen that thumbnail and you done read that title. Listen, if you've been following me for a minute, you know I do everything on the meaty side. Listen, today I'm gonna show you guys just how easy it is to make a meaty, lasagna. Super easy. And I want you guys to think about this. Let's just think about lasagna, right? When I think about lasagna, I think about spaghetti, but with a different, noodle. And check it out, it got that cheese. Hey, with that being said, come on in here and take a look at these ingredients right here. As you can see, it's not.
All right. Already, I love the wine. I would have done my own tomato sauce or spaghetti sauce or what the fuck ever. Lasagna noodles, fine. Ricotta, fine. All this other crap, fine.
Not a whole lot. But look, this might be a little different. I'm gonna be using some of these provolone, slices for some of the cheese. I got fresh grated cheese, more cheese, salt, pepper. Look, we got pork, and then we got ground beef, right? This says 80-20. You guys can make it out of 90-10, that's cool. I like to use it on a leaner side, but you know what? I always keep this, and I didn't think about having no lean, super lean meat. So
Well, just strain the fucking beef, it doesn't matter.
if I got any extra grease or whatever, we're gonna strain that. Let's talk about these lasagna noodles. Now listen, when I make it, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and look, I want you guys to take a look at the end of this video, look at the iCard, and I put it at the end, right? These are, you have to, cook these noodles, right? But for me, what I like to do is I like the no-cook kind. You put them down, you let everything cook. You know why? Because this channel is all about simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. Hey, with that being said, you've seen all of this, right?
Okay, look, AB, I love you. But how hard is it to cook fucking lasagna noodles?
You can use marinara, spaghetti sauce.
I would advise making the sauce yourself because there's way too much sugar in jarred sauce. That's me. That's me.
Whatever you would like to do, it's really these ingredients right here. That's what's going to just raise this up and get that flavor you want. And I want to say this, I always, anything Italian, I'm gonna be honest with you, anytime I gotta use olive oil, this is what I use, you guys. I use Branch and Vine, look, infused garlic olive oil. This right here, this is fire. You guys gotta have some of this in here. We got several different bottles you can use. You could use garlic, basil, whatever. We're gonna go ahead and get everything started. I'm gonna use my Dutch oven. Why? Because we're gonna have a lot of, of our sauce in here. I don't want it to come over the top or have to stir it gingerly, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set this on medium-high heat, right? We're gonna let this build up a little heat. And then as always, like I told you guys, this Branch and Vine, these infused olive oils, I love them. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put a couple tablespoons in here right now. Listen, I understand that we're using pork and ground beef, and I told you I got 80-20. The 80-20, what that's gonna do is render down its own fat also. But listen, we wanna give it a nice base. We're gonna start with that right there. We're gonna infuse it with that and this. Okay, so look. Oh my goodness, that right there is fire, folks. Just to smell that infused olive oil, that's the way to go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and just add it. Now look, I wanna add it away. Don't just drop it in here, because you can see it's nice and hot. Now what you see me doing is I'm just breaking it up. I just want to get, maximum coverage on the bottom, and I'm gonna let this cook, folks. Once this cooks, then we'll start flipping it over and breaking it down. Okay, so look, now would be a good time for you guys to cook your pasta down, right? I'm gonna get these tongs and I just want to handle them and make sure I'm careful with them, right? 8 minutes, we just want them to be al dente. I use a baking sheet and we just lay them right here, right? We'll just do just like that. Now, I'm not gonna bore you guys. I'm gonna just tell you, you wanna do this and you just want it to dry out, Okay, so look, as it's starting to cook, obviously it's gonna turn brown, right? So look, I'm just doing a little break up here. Now, you remember all of our dry seasonings? Check it out. We're just gonna sprinkle it in here just like this.
All right, I'd love to know where all the fats
Right, and now we're just gonna mix. This right here is gonna be some flavorful and meaty, lasagna.
I would have added that when it was.
Now, for those of you guys that don't do the pork, obviously you could have just did 2 pounds of, just the, ground beef. And for those of you guys that want to do something different, don't forget about, hey, listen, I done had chicken lasagna, turkey lasagna, I'm gonna let it continue to cook. We got it all, oh man. Just that right there, this is how you know it's gonna be fire, folks. Okay, so you can see, I just lay them out like this. Look, they already cooked, and so they can like halfway, dry out, and these are already ready. Cause look, the rest of it's gonna go fast. If you guys didn't know, lasagna is so easy. It's to me, it's like just making a hamburger. Okay, so you see how that's cooking down. You can see it rendered, but we're gonna get rid of some of that, right? What you wanna do is you wanna get your salt, and you wanna get your pepper. Now, if you guys been following me for a minute, you know I like to tell you, you can't put enough black pepper in here. So I'm just gonna keep going until my arm gets tired. Hey, just the aroma from all of this coming up, this is perfect right now. A lot of meat, right? So I'm gonna give it a couple of generous pinches of salt, and that will probably do it. If anybody else need any salt, they can, put some on their individual pieces, But that right there, if you're watching your salt intake, this is gonna do it. Now I'm gonna turn this down on low, and we're gonna move to the next part.
Why didn't you read the sign?
No parking Saturday.
Life is of little value in Rome, living in the shadow of the rich and powerful.
Okay, so look, I just drained off the fat. As you guys can see, look at that right there. You can hear it. I got heat under here. I went back with that medium-high heat, right? So now it's time for us to add whatever sauce that you guys are using. You know what I mean? We doctored this up really, really nice. We just want to have the right tools for the job. I want to get all of this out. Everybody know once we get it out, I know a lot of times we put a little water in there, put the cap on, shake it, and then pour it in there, right? There we go, come on. Okay, so got that in here. Now what I want to do is just mix it up, right? Remember in the beginning I talked about spaghetti, right? You see how it's coming in. This is how I like my spaghetti, but I like to make my sauce, from scratch. I done made it. I'll put some links in here so you guys can take a look at it. It's up to you. But remember, we just keeping it simple. We looking for a good meal that's over the top, that's easy to make. Not only easy, but fast, right? So now I want to go ahead and let this come up to a simmer. Okay, so while we letting this come up to a simmer, really what it's doing is just heating up, our sauce and mixing everything together, right? So while that's happening, that's on its way. Let's go ahead and take our ricotta, and let's just go ahead and add this, to a bowl. What you want to do is you want to mix this. We're gonna add this egg, right? I'm just gonna break it up first. And now I'm just gonna give this a whirl just like this. We just want to get it mixed up. Now, once you got it all mixed up, like you see right here, look at this right here. We're already coming up to a simmer. You see that? So look, I'm gonna reduce this down to like low. We just want to keep it nice and hot. Now, guess what, folks? It's assembly time. Now for the good part. Now we're gonna do the assembly. So listen, I don't need to spray this. Why? Because I'm gonna take some of this meat sauce and I'm gonna put this down on the bottom, right? So we'll just do it like this, right? Then we just wanna make sure it spreads. You could just use the back of the, now I should have probably said this. Look, 13 by 9 works great. I should have said that from the very, very beginning. Now you guys can see just how meaty this is, and you can see that why, this will give you an explanation with your eyes why it won't stick, right? So we just put a little layer. It's probably like about 1/4 of an inch thick in this right here. But a 13 by 9 is what you want. Now, you see my noodles back here? They already done. I'm gonna go ahead and bring these in, and we just put these in just like this.
That's great.
13 by 9 square dish probably be the best. I'm gonna tell you guys why, because then you won't have to do any of this tearing or nothing like this. But for me, I have to do that. Why? Because for one, I like this little dish that I have, So we'll just put that in there like that. And then I'm gonna save this off to the side. I'll show you why in just 1 second. You guys can tear it, cut it, use scissors, however you want to do it. But if you're using a 13,
all right, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
And it depends on the size dish that you're using. But this right here is how I like to see it. And check this out, we finna come with that mozzarella. Look, don't do like me. Anytime I work with cheese, I always end up putting way too much cheese. We just want to use about 1/4 of our cheese that we have, right? So that right there is gonna be enough of that. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this parm. We just wanna kind of like dust it. About 1/4 of this would be good too. I know some of you guys saying, man, I want mine to be way more cheesier. You guys do your thing. I care more about the meat and the blend, right? So now I'll take my ricotta, just give it another little whirl. Just like you see, we just want to add a nice little layer to here too. I'm not gonna bore you guys, but we're gonna do the same thing we did down at the bottom, right? And again, folks, I'm doing it a little bit of a hard way, only because I wanted to use my nice, this is my good looking dish right here. So I'm gonna put a layer of noodles, then we're gonna go with some meat sauce, and then we just gonna go with the cheese, and we just gonna keep doing that till we get to the top. So as you can see, look, I got it all the way up here to the top, right? This is kind of like a lot. You know what I mean? 13 by 9 would have been better, especially because we know we got to put foil over the top. And I don't want to pull none of my cheese off, right? So look, I got a question for y'all. Tell me, you see the foil, this side, this side? How many of y'all know which way the foil is supposed to be? Let me know down in the comment section below. So look, I'm gonna just put it over here like this, and I'm not gonna like make it go, you know, I don't want it to just like actually touch my cheese. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover it this way. And because of my dish is so full, what I'm gonna do is, which I've already done is, I already preheated my oven to 375 degrees. We're gonna let that stay in there for about 40 minutes. But I put a pan underneath the bottom. That way, you know what, because I clean up my own. This way, when I put this in there, anything that bubbles over the top drops down in that pan. A little pro tip, folks. Okay, there it is, folks. Y'all tell me what you think about that there. That right there is...
I don't know what the hell that is, but I would eat the shit out of it. And with that, that's where this live stream ends. Good night, everybody.